How to get good drawing skills by making 5 portraits a day. Video by Vladimir London. Many beginning artists think that getting good drawing skills requires a lot of time. They also believe that drawing portraits is difficult. Lack of time is one of the classic excuses. In this video, I will show you how to get good drawing skills with little effort at your end. Here's one of my sketchbooks. I fill such books with various sketches, mostly portraits, figures, anatomy, and other things. Now, I will make a quick sketch in pen and ink to show you that you don't need a lot of time to draw a portrait. The timer is on, so you can see exactly how long it takes to make a simple sketch. The choice of medium, pen and ink, is not accidental. I was using different mediums for sketching for many years. I used to sketch in graphite pencil, colored pencils, ball pen, gel pen, and even in silver point. Finally, I settled down on pen and ink because it is a laconic and unforgiving medium. Every line in ink is final and plays its role in the artwork. It develops confident drawing style because you cannot erase lines. This makes you care about every line you draw. If you make some mistake, that's it. You have a mistake. If you see that mistake, that is great. You learn from it. Next time, you try to avoid it. Instead of erasing and redrawing, ink forces you to keep going. It is easier and faster to make another sketch than to scrape ink marks with a scalpel or craft knife and redraw over it. This is what makes pen and ink so great for practicing. You have no choice but to draw sketch after sketch to make them better. I already see a number of mistakes in this sketch, but that is fine. This is one of many disposable portrait drawings, and there is no pressure to make it perfect. As you can see, every contour and outline is done in a single pen stroke. Because every stroke is important, it develops discipline in drawing. This style makes you think before committing to a pen stroke. In a few seconds, I will end this sketch. There are only a few hair curls left. I drew this portrait from imagination. It is a very stylized image rather than a realistic portrait. So, here it is. One portrait sketch that is done in under 3 minutes. I will sign and date this sketch to keep a record of when it was made. It is not a perfect portrait, but good enough for the purpose of practicing. It's time to make another sketch. I will continue the timer to get the total time for all the sketches I do in this video. Once again, I will make a stylized image of a face, this time trying to fix mistakes I've made in the previous sketch. One of the mistakes was distorted perspective and misaligned levels. You may see that I start sketching without any preliminary calculations of how big this portrait will be. Instead, I will be using the height of the nose as a measuring unit. In relation to the nose, I can depict the mouth. The distance from the base of the nose to the top lip is the same as the height of this lip, which in turn is equal to the height of the lower lip. When drawing eyes, there are many rules as well. In the 3/4 view, the inner corner of the eye shouldn't touch the virtual vertical line aligned with the nose wing. In this sketch, I already made this mistake, so next time I have to be more careful with such measurement. Now it's time to fix the previous sketch mistake and improve the alignment of eyebrows. They have to be on the same level. Even when making fast sketches, an artist has to use the knowledge of proportions and anatomy, especially when drawing from imagination, because there is no model to check proportions on. Needless to say, it is only possible when you know those proportions and rules of drawing facial features. Here's a quick test. Can you name 20 proportions and alignments of a human head? If not, how would you make sure they are correct in your drawing? What measuring guides would you use to draw a realistic portrait? Here's another challenge with sketching from imagination. Even if you know all the proportions, anatomy, and alignments, you still need good drawing skills to apply your knowledge on paper. This is what sketching really helps with. Developing good drawing skills when you have no pressure of making perfect drawings every single time. This sketch is almost complete. There is one stroke left. Let's draw another quick portrait. This time, I will rotate the head so it looks to the right-hand side. I will keep the timer going. Only you can see this timer. I do not have a stopwatch in front of me. I just go at my pace. You can notice that although these sketches are rather fast, I do not rush, but put down every line carefully, with enough time for planning it. I'm afraid I'm making the same repetitive error once again, placing the eye too close to the nose. That's fine. At least I know what I have to work on to improve. Many artists complain that they have some kind of artist block, which prevents them from making art. I've heard this excuse so many times, and would like to address it in this video. One of the reasons why an artist might stop drawing is a subconscious fear of failure. If someone expects to make a beautiful artwork but is not sure about the outcome, this could be a reason for artists' block. Here's the thing. If you have no expectations of making a wonderful piece of art every single time, then you have nothing to be disappointed with. Your sketch will come out as your skills permit. If a sketch looks very bad, I'm sure you already knew that your drawing skills are not perfect and there is room for improvement. This is what you make sketches for anyway. To develop a good drawing style, to learn new things about proportions and anatomy, to capture your thoughts and ideas. And who cares that some sketches come out worse than others? I will tell you a secret. If you place all drawings that you have ever done in the sequence from bad to good, 50% of your artworks will be worse than your average piece, regardless how good your level of drawing skills is. Of course, the word average here means your average ability, not someone else. And the aim of this game is to constantly push your skills higher. This can only be done by making more and more artworks. With every new artwork you do, you have an opportunity to place it in the category above your average. This will make your average level rise, together with the level of your drawing skills. Nevertheless, 50% of your artworks will be lower than your new average, no matter how hard you work, because this average level is not fixed, but moving together with your skills and artworks you produce. So, I hope this busts the artist block excuse. Statistically, your 50% mark will always be there. At any given time, half of your artworks will be below your average ability of making good pieces of art. I'm almost done with this sketch. It is not perfect, and I don't even want to evaluate how it relates to my average. It is just another sketch in a book. It is a good opportunity to repeat what I know about portrait drawing in a fast and easy way. Quantity inevitably transfers into quality. As long as you practice drawing, learn good techniques, and apply what you know on paper, your drawing skills cannot stay the same. They will rise. Here's the completed sketch. I will sign it now. Let's make another portrait. This time, I will draw a female face in profile view from imagination. For many portraits, I take inspiration from ancient Greek and Roman sculptures that are known for classical proportions and beauty. Learning classical canons of proportions is a very important topic for every figurative artist and sculptor. What ancient artists developed more than 2,000 years ago is still valid today. That is why, in the Life Drawing Academy course, I explain and demonstrate in multiple video lessons numerous proportions of a human head, face, and body. In this course, you can learn in depth 3 classical canons that are based on different measuring units. I will pause the sketching process to show you those canons. One is based on human head measurement, another on the height of the face, and the third on the measurement of the eyes. This was just a small glimpse of topics you can learn in the Life Drawing Academy course. There is no right or wrong canon. Canon is a set of rules, but a human figure is not set in stone. Every figure is different, so proportions vary from person to person in real life. The reason it will be helpful for you to know classical proportions is because you can use that knowledge to see how your model deviates from that set of rules. It also will help you to draw from imagination. If you know that, according to the rules, the height of the nose is equal to the distance from the base of the nose to the chin, you can use this knowledge to draw from imagination well-proportioned portraits. As one of my friends says, drawing portraits is very easy. Every child can do that. The challenge begins when you want to make not naive, but beautiful and realistic portraits. This is when you need to know and use constructive drawing principles, human anatomy for artists, and head and face proportions. To do so, you need to learn the anatomy of a human skull, muscles beneath the skin, how those muscles create emotions on a face, what alignments, angles, and checking points to use when drawing a portrait, and how to use constructive drawing principles to build the portrait on paper in the correct sequential order. Of course, the topic of how to draw a portrait cannot be covered in one short video about sketching. That is why we created the whole course for figurative artists, with more than 20 hours of video lessons, where you can learn how to draw from life, memory, and imagination realistic figures and portraits. Let's make one more sketch to complete the 5 portraits a day challenge. This is what I want you to do. Draw 5 portraits every day. In this video, I would like to demonstrate that this is not a matter of time, quality, or drawing skills you have. It is about making a commitment of sketching on a daily basis. As long as you make multiple sketches every single day, your portrait drawing skills will improve with time. Of course, just sketching is not enough. You need to learn how to draw portraits the right way. This is what we can help you with, giving the necessary knowledge of how to draw portraits. This topic is fully explained in the Life Drawing Academy course. Talking of this academy, there are two art courses there. The online course, the self-learn, self-paced video course where you can watch 52 lessons on how to draw portraits and figures from life, memory and imagination, and the correspondence course in which you will receive personal tutoring from the academy teachers. The personal tutoring option is truly unique. Nowhere else would you get unlimited one-to-one tutoring for a lifetime for a one-time low fee. Should you take this course, Academy tutors will assess your level of drawing skills and create a special curriculum just for you that will take into account your art skills level, your goals, and your needs. This curriculum will cover all the gaps in drawing skills you have and give you the necessary knowledge of how to make figurative artworks. You will study under the personal guidance of tutors until you reach the advanced level of drawing skills. Coming back to the 5 portraits a day challenge, making portrait sketches is easier than you may think. You do not need a model, you do not need a reference photo, you just draw from memory and imagination the things you know about portrait drawing. For example, if you know that the line of eyes divides the height of the head in half, you apply that knowledge in your sketch. If you know that the distance between eyes is equal to the width of one eye, you make sure your sketch reflects this know-how. If you know that the distance from the base of the nose to the chin divided in half marks the bottom outline of the lower lip, and the top half of that distance can be divided into 3 equal parts to mark the height of the upper lip, you can use this proportion by default when making a portrait sketch. If you know that the height of the face can be divided into 3 equal parts, from the hair roots to the eyebrows, from that level to the base of the nose, and from the nose to the chin, you do not need a model or a photo to depict this proportion. There are many more proportions you need to know. However, if you do not know about those simple proportions, having a model would not help. I have completed 5 portrait sketches in just under 16.5 minutes. If you have only 20 minutes a day, you can improve your portrait drawing skills by using those minutes wisely. How many sketches have you done yesterday? How many portraits did you do last month? It is not about time. Don't tell me that you don't have 20 minutes a day. By the way, because I'm ahead of time, I'll make 3 more portrait sketches. So I will put the timer on once again to get closer to the 20-minute mark. When I'm talking about 5 portraits a day sketching, these scribbles are not about quality, precision, or beauty. It doesn't matter if sketches do not come out as intended, or look so bad that you can't even show them to your grandma. What does matter, though, is that you make sketches with the intention of putting your knowledge on paper. This means that you need to use the knowledge of anatomy, proportions, and construction in every sketch you do. There are right and wrong ways of making portrait sketches. If you copy a reference photo or doodle without thinking critically about constructive drawing, you waste your time. Such activity is called copying and doodling. Doodling won't develop your drawing skills. It will simply take your time. Copying is more dangerous. It will actually teach you the wrong set of skills. The more you copy from photos, the less you will be able to draw from life, memory, and imagination. This is because the set of skills for copying will suppress your constructive drawing ability. There are many artists who cannot draw from life or imagination because they are used to copying flat images. Copying rewires one's brain to look at outlines and contours and copy those lines without understanding why they are there. Constructive drawing forces an artist to think about construction and anatomy, and therefore outlines and contours in such drawings become the subproduct of that knowledge rather than the primary means of making a picture. Do you know how many sketches you would do in 1 year should you do just 5 scribbles a day? More than 1,800 sketches. How many portraits have you done in the last year? Do you want to see what 1,800 sketches look like? Here are some of my sketchbooks that I used for portrait, figure, and anatomy sketching. I will quickly flip through the pages to show what kind of disposable scribbles I do on a regular basis. Although I completed my art education quite a while ago, I still make endless sketches just to keep my skills in shape. Drawing is like playing music. If you do not draw for 1 day, you may notice your skills decline. If you do not draw for 1 week, professional artists might notice the difference. If you do not draw for 1 month, everyone will see that. For me, making sketches is the way to maintain my level of skills, to develop new styles, to think of new ideas, and to describe the sequence and logic of drawing steps, among many other things. As you can see on these pages, I do not worry about the quality of sketches. These are disposable exercises. They are not meant to be exhibited or published. They are for my use only. It doesn't mean that you have to draw disproportionate images on purpose, but if your sketches come out with wrong proportions and you see that, this is much better than if you don't notice your mistakes and by repeating the same errors would become perfect at doing that. The 5 portraits a day challenge doesn't necessarily mean that you have to draw portraits only. This is about getting into the good habit of sketching daily for at least 20 minutes. You can draw figures, anatomy, describe in writing and illustrate proportions of a human head, face, and body, sketch ideas for future compositions, and so on. Drawing is a non-verbal language of communication. Making sketches is like having small talks with someone. It is the way of thinking, the way of expressing ideas and sharing thoughts. The more you sketch, the more fluently you will be able to communicate using this non-verbal language. Sketching portraits is the numbers game. You need to draw thousands of portraits to become good at it. Making 5 small sketches is a simple way to achieve that. It doesn't matter what medium you choose, what type of sketchbooks you use, or what kind of fountain pen you buy. I won't answer questions about art materials because I do not want to support your procrastination and erroneous thinking that some drawing tools will give you better results. Rules of constructive drawing, human anatomy, perspective, classical canons of proportions will remain the same, whatever pen or pencil you use. It is not about drawing tools, it is not about the paper you draw on, but it is about your skills that make your art beautiful and realistic. Learn the skills. They are for life. Drawing tools can be purchased anytime. By the way, if I'm flipping pages too fast, let me know. If you want to see those sketches in more detail, leave a comment and I will make another video for you. I hope my example is inspirational enough for you to consider the 5 portraits a day tip. So, once again, by practicing just 20 minutes a day and drawing at least 5 portraits every time you sketch, it is a great way to make more than 1,800 sketches per year. No one can do it for you except you. We can help you with good art education. You can learn strong drawing skills with us in the Life Drawing Academy course.